Listen up. If you make websites for people and they pay you for the website and that's the end of the relationship, you are leaving so much opportunity of revenue for your business on the table, as well as you're really underserving the person that hired you to make that website. This video is going to go over the multiple streams of income potential for your agency. And there's so many things that you can easily add to your business in order to increase your revenues, give you more stable revenues, because you're going to have multiple streams of revenue for your agency. But in doing so, you're going to better serve your clients. So if you want to scale up the revenue of your agency, Joseph is here and this video is for you.
All right, so what I'm going to go into in today's video is 6 different revenue streams you can start adding immediately to your digital marketing business. Now, business owners, if you stumbled upon this video as well, you don't want to neglect it because all the services that I'm talking about are things that you want to be considering yourself. These are all things that are very important to your business. And if you're an agency, a freelancer, someone on the digital marketing side, these are all things that you can be offering up to clients. Now, one of the worst things is when you have a new client, you have a good relationship, you know you can help them, and then you build them a website and that's it. That's the end of a relationship. You have nothing more to offer them. That could just be the very beginning of the relationship. Having a website isn't enough. You could have the most beautiful storefront in the world, but if no one's walking by it, no one's going in it, and when people go into it, they don't even know what to purchase or how to purchase it, it's not going to work. And with digital marketing, it's kind of the same way. You build a website, and that's just the start of it. So what I'm going to offer you today in this video is some ways where you can serve clients more and at the same time increase your own revenue stream so that you can be bringing more money into your business and be doing it on a consistent month by month basis so that you don't always have to be sweating where's that next client coming from. So as we're getting into this, one of the things I want you to consider is just what is logical. You just built out a website. The website looks fantastic. You've optimized everything you can on the website. And now what is the logical next step that this person needs for their business to help make them successful? And if you think about it that way, then you start to see, okay, well, where my service offering ended, there's going to be another service offering that begins. And some other company is probably going to swoop in and try to offer it to my client if I don't do so first. So once the website's built, what are some logical things that we need to do next? Well, for one, the website needs to be able to get found. So that brings us to our first additional stream of revenue, which is to offer some kind of SEO services for your clients. This is kind of obvious in some ways, but a lot of people don't do it. And there's reasons why you would not want to do SEO. One of them being that it's very time-consuming to learn. Even though you can get the basics done fairly quickly and you could know a lot more than your average business owner, to actually get really good at this stuff and know how to not only understand it, but also execute on things, that takes some work. And so I can understand why people don't want to hop right into it. But taking time to really build up your SEO skills, and you can start very simply with some basic type of techniques, things like on-page optimizations, understanding H tags, and things like that, creating ongoing content that's relevant, things that are actually very simple to learn and to do, but are very valuable for the business and the website in regards to their search engine rankings. Things like that you could start learning how to do right away. Then for your more advanced offerings, things like backlink building, and if you don't know what that is, you should definitely look it up because it's one of the most important elements of SEO, is that might be something that you just have to outsource. Now, I've given some resources before that show you how you can outsource things. One of the resources I recommend is Web 2.0 Ranker, and they have many different SEO services that they can do for you at a low price, a white label price. I mean, you can just white label that for your clients. So instead of having to learn how to do every single little thing about local SEO, you can outsource most of it. You put a reasonable markup on top of that for your client, and there you go. You have another revenue stream. You're getting the work done at a very high level of quality for your client, driving them more traffic, boosting their rankings, things like that. And it doesn't mean that you have to totally learn how to do local SEO. You do need to know how to do SEO at some extent and know the terms and know the basic strategies. But as far as that fine grain execution of all the nitty gritty details, a lot of that stuff is something that you can outsource. And in fact, even though I know how to do a lot of these things, I still outsource it on a regular basis just because I can get it done faster and cheaper and better for my client. And I can do it in a way where I'm not getting swamped down in that task, so I can focus on other things that I want to provide to clients or get more clients. Now, another important piece of helping your clients after the initial website build is getting them on different business directories and local listings. And this is something that we actually went over in another video. We have another video linked in the description where I went over the 5 business listings your business needs to be on. And that was a video jam-packed with information. And it also showed you how to put your clients on way more than just 5 different listings. All of these, for one, can drive additional traffic because these different listing sites get a lot of views, they get a lot of traffic, and they show up in search results. So these can get your clients additional traffic, but also it's just a local ranking signal. It's something that when you build these out, you can help push your client up in the Google rankings. So it's a part of local SEO, but it's kind of like a subset of it. And this is something that I would never recommend doing yourself. Always hire this out, but you're going to project manage it. You're going to figure out what are the most important listings, where do I want to hire it out to, and we recommend 2 resources in that other video so you can reference it, but we looked at Web 2.0 Ranker and also the Hoth, and then there's other ones you can look at as well. There's a lot of great resources out there that you can do, but don't do this part yourself because you can find other people to put you on listings for $1 to $3 per listing, where for you it might take you 15-20 minutes to set up each one of these listings, and that is just not acceptable. It's not worth your time. I would outsource that to companies that do it all the time, every day, with thousands and thousands of companies. It's going to save you time, and it's actually going to be better for your client because you're going to make sure they get done right. Now, one of the things that a lot of people are going to talk about as well, why don't you offer social media marketing as well? And this is going to have to be something where you decide, do you actually like doing social media marketing? Because for instance, with me, when I started doing my digital marketing and I started my first company, I thought it was going to be nothing but social media marketing. I was going to do Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and all that kind of stuff. And you know what I learned? I learned I don't like doing social media marketing. It wasn't a good fit for me. And this applies to everything that we're talking about. If it's not a good fit for you, you don't have to offer it as a service. But for a lot of companies, they don't need crazy, viral, amazing, engaging content for their social media. If they have it, that's great, if it's something that you love to do. And if it is, you can actually charge quite a premium to be a social media manager for companies. And that could add a huge revenue stream. But if it's something that you don't feel really passionate about, either you could outsource it, which is fine to do, though you have to make sure you're with a good company because sometimes the results aren't so great. So just make sure you vet your companies that you're outsourcing it to first. Or what you could do is every month, you could talk to the owners for half an hour, 40 minutes, ask what's new at the company, ask them to take some cell phone pictures. Maybe there's a new team member, maybe they changed something about the store, or they decorated, or they have a holiday promotion, or they have a new product, something like that. Or, whatever the business might be. It's obviously not all going to be retail, but even a contractor, if you're working with construction, they did new projects. They installed new roofs and gutters and solar panels, and landscapers put in new stuff in landscaping. So you can just have them be snapping pictures, give that to you, and you just automate things. You put it on a post scheduler and you do 2 to 3 posts a week. And it doesn't have to be something crazy. It's just so that if a customer looks at their Google listing or looks at their website and then clicks over to the Facebook, there's something there. There's something that establishes credibility, lets them get to know the brand and the business. Really, every company should at least be on a couple social media platforms. So it's definitely worth learning how to do at least a little bit of that for a client. Now, if your client, you built their website and they have any kind of opt-in form, so they have something where people will sign up for a newsletter or for a discount coupon or just for updates, or maybe there's a giveaway like a PDF download or a case study that your client offers on their website. If you have that, then it's not enough just to have the opt-in form. There should be a follow-up sequence to any opt-in form, because the whole point of an opt-in is to begin a relationship with someone who maybe doesn't know the business that well and is just getting to know them. So I've noticed with a lot of companies, I might fill in their opt-in form and then nothing else happens. They just got that so they could either send me one introductory email or so that they could do some direct email to book me for some kind of call or something. But what if when someone came to the website and they completed the opt-in form, they immediately got a welcome email that's branded, that's nice, that has some good content on it. Maybe it has a special offer in there. And then over the next week, they get 2 or 3 additional emails telling them about the company, about the brand, about the offerings, about a special opportunity, maybe testimonials from people who love the services or products that the company offers. This is all along the line of email marketing. And so you definitely want to have at least some of this in your skill set. And again, you could hire out the actual writing of this. You could outsource it. You could find someone on Upwork or Fiverr, or you could find, a copywriter in your local community that you could say, all right, I just want a 5 email welcome sequence. And then it should all be something where you're promoting the company. You're establishing trust, you're establishing their authority, you're establishing some part of rapport, some kind of branding, some kind of establishing personality with the company. But over these 5 emails, you're building a relationship and you're getting more touch points. And what I mean by the touch points is that a sale doesn't just happen because someone talks to someone once. That's very few of the sales. I used to call 100 companies a day doing cold call sales. And I did business development across multiple verticals. And believe me, that first call would rarely be the call that closed a deal. You'd have to have multiple points of contact, multiple touch points as they call them. You give them something valuable, you send them the email, you do this and that. So when you set up even a small email marketing campaign for a client, what you're doing is you're giving them at least 3, 4, 5, or even more additional touch points with someone who will eventually one day want to buy something from them or get to know their brand or engage them for their services. So that's a very valuable thing you can offer. Like I said, if you're not a writer, you can outsource for writing. And if you're not sure if you're a good writer or not, at least hire a proofwriter. And the content in these emails should be something that's valuable. So you want to really talk to your client about what they offer, who they are, special promotions, the type of personality they have, the testimonials they have, and put valuable content in the emails. Because if you send out just a series of junk emails, no one wants that. Now, a very important thing that I do for almost all of my clients, and I think that you really have to do, is monthly consulting calls. So with a monthly consulting call, or it could be bi-weekly, it could be quarterly, whatever works for you and your client. But having the website up isn't enough by itself. You have to be looking at the analytics. You have to be identifying new opportunities to generate business through the website, new opportunities to get the website in front of more people. And so having some kind of ongoing monthly consulting calls with the client where you're talking about new strategies, you're talking about ideas, you're getting their feedback on how that website is functioning for them. Are they getting new leads? Are they converting at a higher rate of traffic than they were before? Have their average sales gone up? What is happening because of this website? You have to talk to them to know internally what's happening. And then you have all your external metrics like how much traffic are they getting? What sources are they getting traffic from? What pages are getting the most traffic? Where are the spikes, the valleys, any kind of issues that are happening? You want to be communicating that to them because that's valuable information. And not only do you want to communicate the stats, you want to tell what is the story behind those statistics. What is the story that all of those traffic numbers and referral sources actually tells? And so when you can talk to them about that and they can tell you what's happening internally with the company, you have an opportunity to move so much more business. I had a new client this week where actually they're not a new client. I've worked with them for years. I built their website a long time ago. They're a construction contractor. So I built their website and then they said, eventually, after a while of doing like some basic local SEO and maintenance and things like that, they said, look, we're really trying to get into solar and we're trying to build out a lot of solar installation projects where we were installing the solar panels on roofs, something they had never done before. But because I had the ongoing relationship, they said, well, hey, can you set up new pages for me? And so I set up new pages. We started doing new on-site content. And then I told them, like, look, if you really want to blow this up, we have to make a major investment in this. You have to put in some real money so we could do real SEO and real promotion of the service. And they said, sure. And we increased the monthly revenue from that client 400%. And that was by talking to them, knowing what was important, and finding these additional service offerings. That's the kind of stuff that's going to come up in your consulting calls. And one last thing about the meetings, and this could be a Zoom meeting. You don't have to get on a phone call. You don't have to do an in-person visit because that eats a lot of time. This could just be on a Zoom call. But when you do that, you're staying in front of the client, and it makes you a trusted advisor. You're not just the website guy. You're not just the guy who threw this up. You're their trusted advisor. So when an SEO company comes to them, when a social media marketing company comes to them, when another web design company comes to them and tells them that they should be with this company instead of your company, the business owner is going to come to you and they're going to say, hey, look, I just got approached by this company. They're saying this is wrong with the website. They could do this instead. And they're going to trust you to give them feedback on if they're being led astray, if that's something real, or maybe that'll offer up another opportunity for you to serve them more and enlist them for more services. But it only happens if you're talking to them on a regular basis and keeping that relationship up. The next thing I want to talk about is reputation management. And reputation management is a huge service now. Everyone knows how important it is to have strong online reviews, to be on Google, to be on Yelp, to be on these other listing services, to have your Facebook reviews up, and just to know what are people saying about your company. And that's very important because if there's a lot of bad reviews going up, people might come across the listing, come across the website, but they're not going to make a call because the reviews are so poor. And that's what reputation management is all about. You can use services like, for instance, if you want a very inexpensive reputation management tool, you could use Bright Local. We'll have a link to that in the description, and it's very inexpensive. And what they'll do, and what all these reputation management tools will do, is every month, or just on an ongoing basis, they'll pull in reviews from all the major review sites, which could be Google or Yelp or Yellow Pages or TripAdvisor or OpenTable, depending on what the industry is that you're working in. And they'll catalog all of those reviews, put them in one place where you can see them. You can see the overall star ratings. And, with some of the different programs, you can even reply to reviews right from a single portal instead of going to each individual review site. But what you can do is you can show your client, look, we have this many reviews, and over the last 3 months, we've only added 2 reviews to these platforms. And that means that you're not getting enough customer feedback, you're not building your reviews enough, and you're missing out on major opportunities to build trust in the public eye, to build reputation, things like that. But you can be looking at their actual review numbers and the types of reviews, what people are saying, and you could be identifying additional opportunities. Or if there's some catastrophic thing that's happening where they just got 3 atrocious reviews, then you can talk to them about how to, for one, manage that, and then also how to generate additional reviews on the different platforms so that they can bury the bad stuff. Because if you have 100 positive reviews and 3 really bad ones, people are going to say, well, probably just a couple people were angry. That happens sometimes. But look, most of this, 97% of this, is great stuff. I'm going to trust this company. So this is an incredibly valuable thing. The number of people and the percentage of people who look at online reviews before contacting a company or engaging them is huge. But just in general, companies are going to be so grateful when you tell them something is going wrong with their online reputation, because that is so vital that gets fixed immediately. And then you're also going to be able to tell them how to generate more reviews for their company, which is directly going to correlate with them getting more customers, and it also helps for search rankings. Now, another obvious thing that you should be doing, and we'll talk about this in other videos, is ongoing website maintenance. There's a lot of different packages you could have for this. The most basic, though, would be that you maintain their hosting, you update themes, you update plugins, You maintain some type of security on the website, and there's both free ways to do that and premium plugins that you can use. And there's other videos on this channel that you could look at about website security. And then also you just every month, at least a couple times a month, you're going to the website, you're just browsing through it, scrolling through the pages, filling out the contact forms, and making sure everything functions the way it should, looks the way that it should. Because the last thing you want to have is, I've had clients where they said, look, for 6 months, we didn't get a single form fill on our website. And then they found out it's because the people who were supposed to be managing their website weren't even checking if the forms worked. And there was an issue with the forms. So you want to be able to identify issues like that. So that's a very basic kind of website maintenance package. There's much more sophisticated types of packages you can offer, and you can do premium hosting, and you can loop in these other services we're talking about. You can do additional content creation. You can do different SEO kind of things with a website. There's a lot of things that could be done with it. But at a basic level, if you do nothing else but charge a monthly or an annual fee just to maintain the website, provide updates, and make sure nothing gets buggy, that is an incredible service that you should be offering to every single client out there. This is also something that you can offer to companies where you didn't even build the website, but maybe you look at their website and you see there's an issue and you say, hey, look, it looks like your website isn't being properly maintained. I can help you out with that. And of course, that's going to open up the gateway to offering them other services. Now, there's a lot of other services you can offer companies, and I have a lot in mind. There's a lot of different things I do in my agency, and it's incredible because you start to have all kinds of different ways to generate revenue and serve clients. But if you're looking for one more, let's talk about paid advertising. A website is static. It sits there, and it just sits there, and it sits there. And maybe it shows up in the rankings well. But if someone isn't already looking for that product or service, they're probably never going to stumble upon that website. So the other part of marketing is doing the paid advertising. And paid advertising could be in the way of Google ads or social media ads. One of the things I like about social media ads is you can put products and services in front of people where they never even thought about getting that product or service. And I notice this a lot with companies that I work with, where we'll start running Facebook ads and say that it's a chiropractor. Maybe a person has never thought about going to see a chiropractor before, doesn't even really know what a chiropractor does, to be honest. They just do some snap, crackle, pop thing with your back. It's confusing. It's scary. I don't know what that is. I don't want to do it. So maybe they never even thought about doing it, but then you start to put the right kind of ads in front of them, maybe a nice offer, maybe something informational, and then you're starting to get people who never thought about getting the product or service going over and exploring that company and maybe signing up for an initial appointment or buying a product, something like that. And so this is a great service to offer to clients. Now, I have to tell you from the get-go that running paid advertising is not something where you spend half an hour learning it and you just know how to do it. This is a skill that you will have to study with some depth to be able to generate any real results with it and to provide any real value to clients. But it's something that's totally doable. If you see the opportunity for this, where you see this could really help your client and you don't know how to do it, well, you can outsource it. You can go and you can find people who provide this kind of service, and then you can just hire them to do it for you. Of course, be very, very certain that you vet these people you're outsourcing to and make sure they're of high quality, they have good testimonials and all of that, and see actual examples of the ads that they've run and the conversions they got from them. That's a very important thing to do because this can be an extremely expensive service. So if you're going to do something with paid advertising, learn how to do it yourself. It's a premium service you could offer and you can make a lot of money doing it. So there are some services that you can offer to your existing clients, or when you do a new website build, you could be talking about all of these things. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is if you have these auxiliary service offerings, these are more opportunities to start engaging a new business that you've never worked with before. Because maybe they don't want a new website, but they could use help with their rankings. Or maybe they're ranking okay, but they don't have their social media together. Or maybe they just They have okay social media, the website's already there, but they don't have anyone managing their reputation, and there's some serious issues with their reviews, and they're 2 stars on Yelp and 2.5 stars on Google or something like that. So offering these kind of services can really open up a lot of opportunities to start relationships with new businesses that can turn into great long-term clients for you. The key to making this really successful is understanding the business that you're working with, what they need, how they get customers, what they offer, and how you can put together a special package for them that's going to not only serve them, but also generate a lot of additional revenue for you so that you can go deeper into working them with their business, and month after month after month, they'll be paying you for services, you'll be providing them, and that is way easier than doing a website, hunting down another client, finding another referral, doing all of that kind of work. It's much, much easier for you as a digital marketer and web designer if you can have a whole suite of services so that companies can stay with you and get value from you for a long period of time instead of just that one-off type of thing. All right, so thanks so much for listening to this video. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. And let's kick this back over to Adam.
I hope you're beginning to see there's so many revenue opportunities that go far beyond a website. And it is really you better serving your clients. And so I'm glad we had Joseph here breaking down how he does this in his agency in order to better serve his clients, but also have a more stable agency versus the one and done. I make the website, I get a paycheck, feast or famine cycle. Instead, getting rid of that and introducing these multiple streams of income for your agency. So all the different services that he mentioned through the video, there's links in the video description down below. Support this channel by giving this video a thumbs up. It'll take you a split second to hit that like button. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.